Hi guys, welcome to the CryptoSparta podcast. We've had some things happening. There's been
A lot of uncertainty and, just disarray, just chaos in general, honestly.
I have some of the memes and I'll show them maybe bit by bit over time, but I've been talking about it with my MBA group about how the dollar, so
So shaky.
there's the I think it's Captain Phillips or something with Tom Hanks where
It's
the
like
Somali
you're the
pirates.
captain.
Yeah, where it's like
I'm the
I'm the
captain.
captain now and then
Look at me.
but the on his face they have the dollar and it's like look at me. I'm the shit coin now. Like,
Yeah, so it's like crazy uncertainty. We talked about the banks failing last time, and now they got a bailout. And
but I mean, there's a
where's the
couple
money coming from? Like,
burr
yeah,
J
just
Pow
PayPal, just printing money.
print harder.
So there was like some crazy graphs where like all the influx of money coming in just eliminated like any gains the raising of the rates did to fight inflation.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, the raising of the rates is gonna fight inflation, but the bad debt is now. I was explaining to Brian how the balance sheet of the Federal Reserve is increasing because they're printing money to backstop the bad debt to make these banks not fall over. So they said that there was already 300 billion that's been printed to backstop bad debt because of the increased balance sheet on the Federal Reserve. But the estimates are that it could go up to 2 trillion in the midterm, short term, it'll be another 600 billion. We're increasing the monetary supply of the dollar and like I there was someone who was like, you know what? Like Bitcoin is a scam. Satoshi's gonna come back and increase it from 21 million to like more. And it was like
Well,
they're
this is this
they've been pulling out the FUD.
this uncertainty kind of like this leads to our next thing with Balaji and his
Balaji. Come on, Brian.
Balaji,
Wow.
whatever,
That was cringe. Balaji, I
whatever.
think he's American, but he's an Indian guy and it's
Indian dude.
Balaji.
Well,
And
he made
Balaji
a
F.
$1 million bet that BTC will go to 1 million based off just hyperinflation. Uh,
And
you know,
hyper Bitcoinization is what he's really saying is that the big thing, and I mean, we can go back to, we talked about it with Sailor. There is no second best.
yeah,
His idea is not that everyone is going to start using Bitcoin. It's just that if the dollar loses its
it'll be
reserve
the
status,
best option.
well, but what he's talking about is not the average normie people buying Bitcoin. It's going to be countries or large corporations.
El Salvador.
Yeah, El Salvador is just the first, but the big thing is, and then that's like I think who was it? I actually spoke with him a couple times. Majin. I haven't seen him on Twitter as much, but the Saudis are bidding. Like that's always like the
Or
oh
China's bidding.
yeah
That's also
yeah
like the
China's
other one.
bidding and yeah it's
Where there's always that meme where they're like watching, they're like manipulating the price, and they're all cheering when Bitcoin goes down, or
yeah
like,
but no, the idea is that if like sovereign wealth funds lose faith in the dollar and move to Bitcoin, it would only take a few large players that are institutional rather than just like the GameStop army and the apes, like it's more the idea of like the thing that's happening with inflation and we can go to crypto more, but it really is important on what's happening with crypto.
well, this is the whole thing. Where it's like, is dollar unsafe? Where it's like, oh, cash is not king anymore. Maybe I need to rotate into Bitcoin
But the thing is,
with all
the
this
dollar,
uncertainty.
it's kind of like there's a this saying about socialism and capitalism, and it's like capitalism is not a good system until you look at every other system that's been tried.
Yeah, it's the best of what we
The
got.
dollar is not the best currency. But the thing is, the whole world trusts the dollar more than their local currency.
Everything is denominated in dollars.
Exactly. And so then the debt is denominated in dollars. The Federal Reserve is fighting inflation and they're murdering the rest of the world. Literally, people are dying. I was just reading an article about how in 2008, when they printed money, the change in inflation causes a problem with other people's debt and money. And they said that it might have led to the Arab Spring. Now there are people in Europe who are protesting in the streets because they're having to change policies. In France, they're raising the retirement rate for 2 years from 62 to 64. There are people protesting around the world. They're not going to have enough money to pay for things because everything that's been denominated in dollars is now becoming inflated. But these other countries, the inflation is worse. And so the dollar is gaining on them. But if everything is trading in dollars and their country is even, and the thing is, it's not that they're more irresponsible, but